awesome.
Canton Kid Fest 2025.
Canton Kid Fest is a huge indoor event for and about kids. Save the date.
Saturday, March 22nd at the Canton Civic Center.
And it's only $5 to get in.
Inspired once again by our friends at Wishes Can Happen.
Canton Kid Fest at the Canton Civic Center. Don't miss it.
Save that day, Saturday, March 22nd at the Canton Civic Center.
From News Talk 1480 WHBC.
See it there. I can't wait.
And Mix 94.1.
WHBC AM Canton. Reliable as ever. Powered by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. On News Talk 1480 WHBC.
The Kenny and JT Show. Powered by Roosters. A fun, casual joint.
Hall of Fame residency program has been a godsend for the city of Canton, the state of Ohio, and for the Kenny and JT Show because they're bringing in Hall of Famers on a regular basis now to come visit, usually get here on a Wednesday and stay through Saturday or Sunday. And usually their last stop on a Friday, JT, is with us here on the Kenny and JT Show. And that's the case today with a member of the 2022 class, number 97 back in the day for the San Francisco 49ers, Bryant Young, joining us right now.
Yeah,
How you doing, Bryant?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on. It's been a whirlwind of just being back here in Canton and get a chance to be out in the community with the slowed down environment, not on an enshrinement weekend. So I've been really able to just love on the people in the community, and it's been rewarding, hopefully for them, definitely for me.
We love having you here, man. And, when you walked in the door, I'm like, this guy looks like he can still play, man. You're staying fit.
Well, I'm trying to. I'm just, for me, at this age, I'm 53. And eating the things that I used to eat, it doesn't serve me anymore. So I want to make sure that I'm, at this juncture in my life, I'm eating healthier.
Yep.
And I'm watching my weight. But just to pass the eye test is good enough for me.
You look good, man.
If I hit something, I may fall apart, though.
That's interesting, too, because I wanted to ask you, because you have had a lot of things in common with a guy that we've been talking a lot about recently, and it's Travis Kelce. After about a 12 or a 13-year career, how do you know when it's time to say, I'm done?
Yeah, there's a feeling. I think a lot of it is about the mental capacity and the energy that you have to put forth. If you feel like that you can't, because there so much goes into a season. It's not just the physical part of playing a season. Like if you get hurt, you have to do rehab and even if you're not hurt, the prehab stuff, the training, and just the length of a season and having the resilience and the fortitude to stay committed to the process. It takes a lot of mental capacity to just go through a season. And I think that's a huge indicator when you get to the point where you don't know if you can muster up enough of that mental mindset to play a season, then you have to take a hard look at the game in terms of how you want to leave the game. Do you want to leave with a saturated career at the end and not give your all and be pushed out? Or do you want to leave on your own terms? And for me, that was my process. I was in year 14, and as I started to near the end, when I got to 10, it was like, okay, here comes 11, 12. Then at 12, I was really adamant about and intentional about going through a process of figuring out what I wanted to do after I retired. And so I got my degree in marketing, and so, it wasn't going back to school. It's like, am I going to use my degree? What am I going to do? I did some other things. I touched some other things. But it was really finding out what I liked and what I didn't like and finding out my strengths and weaknesses and things that I could see myself kind of touching and being a part of. And so I went through a 2-year process of just figuring all of that stuff out. And it was a hard process to just ask people their perspective of me and what they thought of me and ask some of those hard questions. So it was a 2-year process, and I came away with a couple things that I thought I wanted to do when I retired. So when you know, and when you have the time to, go through a process of figuring out what you want to do it. And I say touch a few things, too, while you're playing. Like be involved in a few things that you may be interested in that you could potentially do post-career and see if that's something that you can make a career in as your second career.
Yeah, and I'm looking back at your resume. Comeback Player of the Year, Super Bowl winner, All-Pro 4 times, NFL 1990s All-Decade Team. You were a team leader on that 49er squad for so many years in that locker room and everything. As you look back on your career coming out of Notre Dame, we'll get to the Buckeyes, by the way, in Notre Dame coming up here in a little bit.
Watch out now. What did he just say? He just said it looked like I could still play. I can still throw a punch now.
I'm a huge Notre Dame fan.
No, you're not. Don't lie. Come on.
You see that inside eye.
We'll start it now then. We'll get back. I was force-fed Notre Dame growing up as a kid in Western Pennsylvania, all right?
Yeah.
So much so where it turned me off, and I reference them as the crying Irish of Notre Dame because they always seem to cry when they don't win, right? They moan and bitch and gripe and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, just say that for the end then.
Okay.
I might be crying.
Okay.
I want to cry during the show.
But getting back to your NFL career, everything you accomplished, okay, and it leads to coming to Canton, Ohio in 2022. And we asked this of guys who won a Super Bowl, didn't win a Super Bowl, but are in the Hall of Fame, same thing. Would you rather have a Super Bowl ring or a Hall of Fame jacket and a ring? You got both, so you're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this. We play the game to win championships.
Okay.
And if byproduct of winning the championship earns you the right to be in the Hall of Fame, be enshrined, and if your body of work is worthy enough to be enshrined in the Hall of Fame, then it does. But that's a tough question because winning a championship, and here's the other thing too, like being in the Hall of Fame is not an individual award. It took 10 other guys on the field to do their job so you could do your job. And so it is a team effort still, because I represent a lot of people wearing this jacket, wearing this ring, and being enshrined and having that bust in the Hall of Fame. And so it's just not me. So it's still a team kind of a war. It's just I just happen to be the person who gets to represent so many other people. You know, so that's the cool part about that. But you know, winning championships is a beautiful thing. If you can have both, then I say go for it.
Yeah.
You won that first championship your rookie season in '94, is that correct?
94, yes.
Okay. So that's the last San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl win, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I was looking at this the other day, and I was looking at some NFL films, and I was watching the Steve Young interview that he said afterwards, and everybody remembers the iconic, finally somebody get this monkey off my back. What I want to ask you, Bryant Young, is was there ever playing for the San Francisco 49ers that aura of, hey, we got to be better than those Montana teams?
Absolutely. Each year, well, you got to understand, like I had the privilege of going to a university where the standard was winning. It was every year it was winning a national championship. We fell short of that, came very close my senior year. And so to go to an organization that the standard was about winning and it was first class, like that was what I was all about, and to be able to make a contribution and be a significant role player in that. And I know there's a struggle before I got there, but it wasn't like I went there and I was riding the coattails of other people. I had a job to do, and I had to earn the respect of the guys that were in that locker room. And so for me, being that the standard was set, and that's what the standard was for the rest of my career, like I was okay with that. And so as the years went on, there were seasons where they were a little bit lean, and we went through some rebuilding processes or seasons. And yeah, there was a sense of urgency of just wanting to get back to there, even though I'd experienced the championship, but then having some playoff runs and then going through some lean years and then coming back and then trying to carry and bear the torch or the baton. There's a huge responsibility in that. And so, but you realize that no matter how hard you try, and the effort you put forth, you know, it takes a concerted effort by a lot of different people, and you got to have the right people in the building.
Hall of Famer Bryant Young in studio with us here on the Kenny and JT Show. 89.5 career sacks, 12 forced fumbles, 7 fumble recoveries. You played defensive tackle and defensive end. You were so versatile, inside, outside. We just watched the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I know Jalen Hurts was the MVP, but I'm sorry, the defensive line to me was the MVP of that Super. You agree?
Listen, I agree with you. I mean, to watch a defensive line to peak at the right time, like, I mean, they were phenomenal. And I didn't even realize this until somebody pointed it out earlier today, I believe it was, that they didn't even blitz. No, they just got it done. They got it done with their front four guys, and that was a really just a feat to watch. Them young guys just take the bull by the horns and compete the way they did. They peppered Mahomes. They got him off the spot. They affected the quarterback in every which way they possibly could.
Yeah, and for you playing both end and tackle inside, what's the difference? Give us an idea of what the D tackle does on a play, the same play as what a defensive end does.
Well, I'll just tell you this: my world inside, I love playing inside because it was so chaotic. When I played a zero, I got 2 guards. I'm playing, middle of the center. Then I got 2 guards on either way, and you can almost predict, where your block's coming from in the run game, according to the formation. And but when you're playing a shade, you're in the A gap. You got your gap is defined, or where you do a 3 technique, your gap is defined in the run game, or you're rushing. You have a 2-way go, depending on which way they slide the protection when you're rushing the quarterback. And then when we talk about it happens fast inside, you got different blocks. And it's so chaotic. But on the edge, when I played the edge, it seemed like it's so much room and space, and things develop. It seemed a lot slower. Like when you look at Boots, runs away, and just runs to you as well. It happens a little slow. You have time and space, but inside it just happens so fast, and you got blocks coming from your left and your right. Whereas if you're not, and you're playing the defensive end, if you're not covered up by a tight end, it's just the tackle, and you have outside space free on your outside arm. And
that was blocks back then. Now they hold every play.
They always hold.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
So what is it? Is it a rip through technique? Is it a swim technique, or is it just get this guy off me?
No, it's really you want to get hands inside. You want to get hands inside. You want to keep your thumbs up, elbows tight. To get extension, you want to have a little bit of bend in your arm, so that at the last second, you want to get off the block. There's a little bit of extension that you want to press when you get off the block, and you got to be violent getting off. So guys are holding, so you got to work through the guy holding you, and you got to be violent with the hands, and so getting separation, whether you're swimming or you're ripping through, you got to do it with some violence.
Talk some crap out there.
Yeah, you talk a little bit of crap. Yeah. And for me, I didn't do a whole lot of talking. There are guys that talked way more than me.
Yeah.
The one thing that I loved to do when I played the game was just play the game.
Nice.
I didn't waste my energy jaw jacking around. But now, if a guy started jaw jacking with me, like I'll respond now. But for the way I played the game, it was like, man, I'm gonna show up every play. I'm gonna come back the next play. I'm gonna come back the next play, and so on and so forth. And so for me to be able to just beat me with my football, hopefully that spoke volumes more than anything I could ever say.
Yeah, and practice. Did you enjoy practice? There are some people we've talked to that hated it. Others, I enjoyed practice more than anything because that meant I was preparing for the test, which was on Sunday. I
love practice, man. You listen, practice is where the preparation and the confidence is built. And for me, I didn't understand, like, because I loved it so much. It was like I embraced the process, and for me it was okay. How can I do this as well as I possibly can in practice? And then I know when I got to Sundays that it's going to be that much easier because I prepared very well, and so I embraced that. I love practice. Practice is where you really earned your money. When you got to Sundays is what it was, the fun day. It was the fun day. You went to go compete because everything you did up until that point, it was the grind. It was the prep. It was sitting in the classroom. It was studying your opponent, studying their philosophy, their tendencies, what scheme they're running, and just really understanding that. Then you have the ability to practice, and that's the hard work in that. And then just sharpening your skills in terms of, your technique and what you're going to do when you play on Sunday.
Brian, I want to ask you about a couple of your teammates, because when we first started the residency program, Leroy Butler was our first Pro Football Hall of Famer that came in. And I asked him about one of his teammates from college. And it was Deion Sanders, who happened to be one of your teammates at the San Francisco 49ers. What was a day like with Deion Sanders?
Deion was... let me just say, in the locker room, Deion was one of the best teammates I ever played with. Absolutely, hands down. One of the best teammates I ever played with, because he practiced hard. He was very serious about his craft. He didn't did not take that lightly. He studied the game. He was the first player that I saw that carried around this portable Beta 8 player. And so, yeah, and and so, but he was just fun to be around in that aspect. Now, when game time came and the cameras were on after the game, and that's when you saw this personality, and the prime time personality come out.
So he's a student of the game.
Absolutely. Hands down, one of the best teammates I ever played with.
The other team that I have to ask you about was you play with Ken Norton Jr.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what his situation was at home, but had you ever met the champ? Did the champ ever come around?
The champ was there.
Really?
Yeah. The champ was there.
What was that like?
It was surreal. Just you hear about the battles between him and Muhammad Ali, and his dad would come to the games, and he was very very nice man. Yeah,
You're like there's a champ.
The champ. Yeah, it's like, man, we did. Playing in the NFL, you're afforded so many different opportunities to be around famous people, and and people look at us in that way. I'm like, I'm just another guy, but you treat people with respect. He would come around, and other people would come around, and it was just cool that we and the professional sport would attract other people outside the sport. That would come watch us play. So it was always fun to see guys like Ken Norton Sr. and other people come by.
That's not to say that Ken Norton Jr. wasn't a great linebacker.
No, Ken Norton Jr. He definitely he was his own person for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking at Super Bowl 29 box score. 49-26, you beat the Chargers. You have 3 tackles in that game. We were talking about this on the air before you arrived. I grew up Western Pennsylvania, so I'm a Steelers fan. I was at the AFC Championship game that year when Humphreys hits Martin for the touchdown, and they shocked the Steelers at Three River Stadium. I'm curious, were you guys thinking you were going to play the Steelers, or you guys didn't, lean either way, as you're getting ready?
Well, I can't remember what was actually. I know we eventually played the Chargers, but I think once we won, we just kind of we just looked for it. We didn't care. It was like bring on whoever, and so I wasn't aware of how that game actually went. To be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm there heartbroken.
Yeah.
You're an Aquarian. He's an Aquarian. So we're fellow Aquarians. That game, I believe, was played on January 28th.
Okay.
And that's my birthday. So I was going to go watch my Steelers in the Super Bowl on my birthday play, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Chargers ruined it all for me. So I hate the Chargers to this day.
Well, we got revenge on them.
Yeah, no question.
For you guys.
Yeah, thank you for that. What do you remember about the Super Bowl? If there's one thing quickly, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
Chaos pregame. Yeah, fireworks, singing national anthem. It's just production, and but when that whistle blows, it's game time, and it's just like any other game. You lock everything else out. The game is not bigger than what it needs to be, and so it's amazing. I mean, I need to go back to our prep that week when we prepared in Miami. Like it was said, and I could see it now that I think about it. We didn't drop a pass in practice on offense. Like every ball that Steve Young threw was caught. How we practice, we had so much. Our preparation was done so well. We went into that game with not overconfident, not arrogance, but we were very confident, and we knew what we had. It was just a matter. We felt that we were going to win that game. It was just a matter of how much we're going to win it by. And so, but I remember just. It was just that we could do no wrong. It just felt like everything was in our favor, and we couldn't be stopped.
And it translated to the game. 6 TD passes for Young. Jerry catches 3 of them, and monkey off Young's back. Jerry adds to his records and everything. And defensively, you guys take care of things as well. So obviously, you always hear the saying, if you practice hard, it's going to translate to the game as well. And that was the case.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a standard how we practice. We didn't beat each other up during the week. As a matter of fact, we would have one day a week in practice where we would have 9-on-7 and then 1-on-1s in pads, and then we take the pads off. And that was just how we practiced. And we were running around in shorts, but we practiced so hard. Guys ran to the ball. We were running out the stack. We took care of each other. We didn't go down the cylinder of the quarterback. We were able to, we worked pass rush on the offensive lineman, work our technique and peel away. And then when the ball was thrown, we were hauling tail out the stack. And so that's just the way we practiced. There was a standard how we practice. And, of course, that was established, during the Walsh eras and how Ronnie and Roger Craig and all those guys, how they practice, the standard was set. So, and that's how I kind of practiced anyway when I was in college. And but it was just kind of easy to adapt to that way of practicing. And it felt, you just felt fresh when you went into Sunday games, like you weren't beat up.
Yeah. Three-year starter at Notre Dame, 4-year letter winner at Notre Dame, 14-year career in the NFL, Pro Football Hall of Fame. And the thing that, resonates with me is the fact that the greatness that was the San Francisco 49ers, and you guys didn't have an easy path. Maybe that Super Bowl might have been an easy game,
right?
But you're playing in between the Dallas Cowboys, the Washington Redskins at that time. Was there anybody that you just couldn't wait to get your hands on when you were playing?
Well, that year or just in general? So I got to tell you about. So that year, we started off okay. Then we went on our bye week, and we got absolutely clobbered by Philly. I think we lost the game like it was 41-3.
Oh, really?
And George Seifert ended up pulling Steve Young, and Steve was pissed off, and it just didn't go well. And so things got a little rocky. And then the very next week, we were on the road in Detroit, and it wasn't going well for us. Barry was kind of having his day a little bit, and then I remember we had this come to Jesus talk. Tim McDonald, he comes to the sideline, and he gave us one of the most fire and brimstone speeches that just to the defense that just woke us up, and we all responded. And from that game on, we won that game, and we went on our 10-game run, and we didn't look back. So there were some moments of just, how to do, just standing up and the challenge that we had to meet. And so we responded, it was a moment of truth for us at that particular
that Detroit
game
on Monday night?
I believe it was.
I was at that game.
Yeah.
I swear I was at that game.
Don't quote me. I think so.
Jerry Rice went off. I remember he caught like a 60-yard touchdown down the right sideline. I was right there. Ben Stover had tickets.
Okay.
We would drive from Canton, Ohio to Detroit to watch a football game on a Monday night. I think I got home at like 7 a.m. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy Monday nights?
I love Monday nights. It was Monday nights were so special because you were the only team playing. It was primetime football, and you didn't want to have to overthink it. You just knew that you were the only football team or game on that particular night. And so for me, I never wanted to overthink it and think too much of the game, like, oh, everybody's watching.
Right.
But there was also incentive, like, man, this is prime time. It's Monday night. And it was understood that you're always your best when you're at prime time, and any other time for that matter.
Yeah, you guys rose to the occasion in San Francisco quite a bit. Bryant Young is our guest, Hall of Fame class 2022. So you're somewhat of a newbie, right? Just a few years in the Hall of Fame. For the guys that are going in this year, what advice would you give Antonio Gates and Tim Allen, some of the other ones that are going to be going in?
Yeah, just enjoy the moment. I really look forward to being able to celebrate those guys and for their achievement and their contributions to the game that they made. All four had stellar careers, no matter how long or short. I just have a ton of respect for this class, how they played the game, how they represented themselves, and so just being able to now gain new members and new brothers in this unique fraternity. I'm looking forward to celebrating them.
I said Tim Allen. I meant Eric Allen. I'm thinking of Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Hey, you went on to become a coach too, at collegiate level and back in the NFL. Is it out of your system?
No, it's still in me. I'm always coaching my kids in some shape, form, or fashion. Being a parent, there's some teaching and lessons and coaching going along the way. I love being able to give back in that way because it keeps me close to the game, but it also helps me. It's kind of my give back component as well, where I've learned so much, I gained so much. The game has been good to me, and I want to be able to, continue to contribute to the game and help develop it and move it forward as well. And so I enjoyed coaching. I didn't coach this past year. I coached at the high school level, pro level, and college level, and even flag football. My 6-year-old. Right. So at many levels. But no, I enjoy it. Coaching for me it's an opportunity, especially in the college level, to be a coach mentor and be able to speak into a young man's life and help develop them and help them accomplish their dream goals and aspirations. And it's just a cool time. And every phase of a level of coaching that I've coached, it's been enjoyable for me.
One thing we always talk about, he doesn't think Rudy's real. From Notre Dame.
Is real.
Is Rudy real?
Yeah, Rudy
Tim
is
Brown
real.
said he ain't real.
Rudy is real.
Was Tim Brown real?
Tim Brown's real.
Tim Brown knows about Rudy.
He should know about Rudy. He didn't play with Rudy, but Rudy is real.
Okay.
Now, is the story real?
See?
I'm talking about Rudy the guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Rudy. Yeah.
Like a politician all of a sudden.
Rudy Rudiger.
Who is Bryant Young outside of football?
I'm a low-key, simple dude. Like, down to earth, introverted by nature. That's I recharge when I'm alone at home with family, and I'm simple. I love doing simple things. I do like getting out doors and fishing or riding my motorcycle. I'm a Harley rider. I enjoyed supporting my kids where they are, and I champion for them, and I support them where they are, whether it's, playing youth basketball or volleyball, club volleyball, or watching my son as a freshman, play football. And, every phase of life for our kids, I want to try and be there. And I'm just a simple guy. Don't ask for much, don't complain about much, and I'm easy.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, too,
That's right.
and that's why we love having him in here, hearing stories about the playing days at Notre Dame and in the NFL. And you and I were talking before we came on the air about this residency program, and you've been busy. You got here Wednesday. This is Friday. You've been at a lot of places. Share with our viewers on Facebook, listeners on WHBC, what they've had you, doing these few days.
Yeah, so I got in Wednesday night, and actually I went to the fire station and met Chief Bennett and his staff. What a great opportunity to be able to just let the guys know that they're appreciated as first responders. They give so much to saving people and taking care of dangerous things, and I just want them to know that I appreciate them. They are the real heroes in this story, in this life. We're just guys, as an former NFL guy, we're entertainers. Some would say we put our lives on the line as well, but not anywhere like these guys. And so for me to be able to just to let them know how much they're appreciated and get to know them as being part of this community, it's rewarding. It touches my life. I love them. I want to let them know they're supported, and so I got a chance to do that and go to the Children's Hospital today, and got a chance to talk to a couple elementary schools that were at the Hall of Fame. Went to love on some elementary kids as well for Valentine's Day today. So it's been a lot going on, and for me, this is a really good opportunity and a slowed down process to get to be involved in the community. Volunteered at the food bank as well, and just let people know that we are there. This is our family. I'm reaching out. We appreciate you. Hopefully the words that were shared, it inspires them. I know it definitely, me being around them, they've inspired me. And so I'm looking forward to coming back again in some capacity to do this again.
Yeah, and August will be here before you know it, too.
Yeah,
With
absolutely.
The class of 2025, and it's one of the most unique fraternities in all of sports, and the Gold Jacket is representative of that. And I look at these, the 1990s All-Decade team. Pro Bowls are great. To me, though, that's popularity. All-Pro is what matters. And the fact that you were a four-time All-Pro, that speaks volumes, as well as the team leader that you were with the 49ers. I've read stories about that, how important that is. And we always hear about culture, and that's important in sports, isn't it? I mean,
Absolutely.
It gets overlooked sometimes, doesn't it?
Oh, no, it's important. You want to make sure that there's a healthy culture and environment where guys can be able to thrive. If you got a bad culture, you don't have success on the field. It's just hard. It makes hard coming to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have a healthy environment and a locker room that's thriving, it makes it that much more beautiful. It makes you want to come to work every day in a place where you feel safe. Guys care and they love about each other. There's compassion on the team. And there's just a recipe for success when you have a healthy locker room.
And how much of that did you see when you had that horrible leg injury from your teammates?
Man, I'll tell you what, that was the one thing that was medicine for my soul, just not being able to be around my team, my brothers that I went to battle with on Sundays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. That was an added piece of my therapy and healing that I needed, that I didn't know I needed until I was there. And so when I was able to get on my feet and get back to the locker room, that was so just life-giving for me. And so the locker room is unique. It's the brotherhood. And so you want to make sure that whatever you bring to the locker room, that you're always doing your part. You're being accountable, and you're being a good teammate. Like, you always want to be a good teammate. When you're a good teammate, good things happen, and you have the right people in the building, success can happen on the field.
How did you overcome that? You're only, 4 or 5 years in the league, and you end up playing 14. So obviously you had great years after that injury, which a lot of people probably didn't think you would be able to do. How were you able to overcome that and become a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, so that happened in my 5th year, and wow, it was unbelievable. I'm like, man, I can't believe this just happened. I'm in excruciating pain. I'm laying on my back in candlestick, and it's like I'm faced with this devastating injury. I'm like, okay, I can come back. It's broken, or you got a broken bone. But when I go to the hospital, there's complications, and I have to get a rod implanted in my leg, and then there's the compartment syndrome, and the threat of potentially not being able to regain feeling in my leg, or potentially losing my leg or life. And so that was just once I understood what was actually what it was going to take of me to come back, I knew it was going to be a hard road back. So what helped me get back on the field was a lot of faith. And God had me at a place where he had my attention. And so being able to recalibrate and understand who God really was in my life, so that helped me recalibrate things in terms of my faith. My family was important, my support system around me, great medical staff and athletic training staff that did an incredible job putting together the protocol to help me rehab back, and just being around an incredible organization that allowed me space to do what I needed to do to get back on the field, and just allowed time for that to happen. So it was a concerted effort on all different levels, and so I'm just grateful for how God wired me. God wired me in such a way that allowed me to accept the challenge, don't be denied, and to continue to push forward. I don't take any credit at all for how I'm wired, but I am so thankful, and I say it with all humility, the Creator has wired me in a way that allowed me to be able to work and push through some of those hard things. And so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. See, we're thankful too. And I told you I'm a Notre Dame fan. That's why, right?
Oh, okay.
Right there. That's
Today
well
you are.
spoken.
Today you are, yeah. That's what's most impressive, I think, to me about your story, is that happened 5 years in. You played 9 more after that horrific injury, and you ended up in Canton. So it's a remarkable story, and one you should be very proud of, and we can't thank you enough for joining us in studio and being a part of the Hall of Fame residency program.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for allowing me to speak and be with you.
Awesome.
You guys got juice, man. I love it.
Yeah, we try, man. We try. I'm still high because of the Buckeyes' victory.
I know. There we go. There we go again.
Now, hey,
He's ruffling the feathers in there. We're going in a good direction, and all of a sudden you go there.
Well, you said the juice. That's where. Hey, you win one every 10 years, so you got to wear it proudly, right?
No doubt.
It ain't easy.
It ain't. But I'll tell you what. If we got a couple more seconds, But Ohio State, man, I tell you, they were the best team that day, and they battled back, and so just their story, you have to give credit where credit is due. They're a phenomenal football team, and I'm proud of our Notre Dame Irish.
Should be, because
Did you stay in the program? Marcus Freeman?
Yeah, absolutely. Marcus is a great guy. I love Marcus. My son loves him.
He's a Buckeye.
Yeah, he's
That's
a
why we
Buckeye.
like it.
There you go. There you go.
he ain't a Notre Dame fan.
He just said he was a Notre Dame fan. That's why he liked Notre Dame. Now he don't like Notre Dame. Yeah. But just, Notre Dame, just the run that they had to, Marcus did an incredible job. Just his leadership and just the timing of everything, just it was right. And I just hate that they didn't get it done.
I was scared, though. I thought it was over, and give credit to Marcus and the team for coming back and making a game of it into the fourth quarter.
Oh, absolutely.
They had me a little worried.
He makes Notre Dame likable.
Yeah.
That's what's nice about it.
I love that. Yeah. I don't know if, well, let me not say that. Yeah. So, yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, very much so. Hey, we know you got to run. Thanks so much for being in studio with us. You're always welcome back with us, and look forward to seeing you again when you come to Canton, all right?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Bryant Young joining us here on the Kenny and JT Show. We'll get a break in. Come back with more. Stay with us.
It's Kenny and JT on WHBC.
WHBC AM Canton, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From News Talk 1480 WHBC at 20.